We're now well into 2023. 2022 flew by, and this year has started off no different. I thought this would be a good point to show you what my Etsy print-on-demand business made in 2022. Consider checking out my newsletter. Interestingly, I have more subscribers on my newsletter than I do on my YouTube channel, so consider subscribing to both if you haven't already. The reason I'm making this video is for two reasons. One, I want to be as open and transparent with this channel as possible. Two, I'm giving you advice. I'm also reviewing products and services, and that my advice might actually be worth listening to. And I want to kind of give you proof that you can make money doing this. Anyway, let's get into it. I run a few different Etsy stores, all print on demand. So I'll break down the financials per store, but I'll tell you right now, all my Etsy stores combined generated $159,000 in 2022. Let's get into the details, starting with store 1. This is a basic print-on-demand store that sells clothing. I don't have a specific niche, it's just what I'd call a general novelty t-shirt store. Looking at the revenue generated each month, it hovers between $5,000 and $7,000 a month, with a total revenue for 2022 being almost $83,000. My general approach with this store is to basically look at what types of designs are trending, then make my own versions of what I see trending, with the hopes that I land on a trending item myself. I have been doing this strategy since I started this store, and it does seem to work, but the negative is that you have to constantly produce new designs and be constantly listing items on Etsy. I normally average about one new design per day, which for this store translates to about 3 Etsy listings per day, which really isn't a lot. With this store, I actually haven't added any new designs since around October time, but I do have a good reason for this, which moves us on to my next store. Store 2 sells home decor items. I started this store with the intention to experiment a little. I wanted to have another high revenue store, but with completely separate products and a completely separate niche, in a way to weather myself a little, and to step away from constantly chasing trends. I honestly do think this was mostly down to luck. You know, the right place, right time sort of thing. But the products on here have really taken off. The difference here is that I've focused on just one niche and to not chase trends. Quite a lot of my listings on this store have the bestseller badge, and one even has the Etsy Pick badge. So I definitely did something right here. Looking at the financials, for the first 5 months of the year, this store was only generating a few $100s a month. It was around April-May time when I decided to really concentrate on this store, and the sales took off almost instantly. It's one of those times where I just happened to get everything right, and the store just blew up from there. Going from the lows of $34 in March to $2,000 in June, and then continuing to increase to the highs of $15,000 in December. And this store is still growing. In January 2023, this store generated $17,000 in sales. For a store to generate more sales in January than in the Christmas period just gone is very strange. So I am very excited about the future of this store, and this store will be my main focus for this year, along with this channel. So for 2022, this store did a total of over $58,000. I do have 3 more stores, but they're all quite small, and it isn't really worth going into the details with these. I'll just total the revenue from all these stores together, and this comes to around $2,000. The last bit of revenue that I'm going to include is from merch by Amazon. I'm only including this because all I do here is post the designs that I make for Etsy onto merch by Amazon. And in 2022, my Amazon merch count generated $17,000, which brings us to the total of $159,000. So, you know, this isn't millions or anything, but I am pretty happy with this. This number is getting bigger every year, so I definitely am doing something right. But I must stress that this is not profit, this is revenue. Profit is a little harder to work out, but I did some calculations and I estimate my profit was around $50,000. Again, I'm happy with this. I get to be creative, I get to run my own business, and more importantly, I get to work on my own schedule. And since this is print on demand, I can technically work anywhere. Even if I was making less, the freedom of just not having a job is worth it to me. And while this isn't all of my income, my Etsy stores do make up the majority of my income. I just wanted to show you what's possible. I'm not doing anything crazy here, and I think what I've just shown you is very realistic of what you can expect if you start a print-on-demand business. That is, if you really work on it, continually improve, and actually treat it like a real business. I am very close to reaching that 1,000 subscriber threshold that would allow me to monetize this channel. So if you want to help me out a bit, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.